know that when you have a purpose and a calling on your life, there's nothing that nobody, and nothing can happen. I am Angela C. Wright.
Over the top, the gotcha.
He said your numbers has shrunk. He said, I don't know how, why.
You're not gonna get you're gonna have to have mounds of security for me because you're not gonna get me.
If I wasn't depressed and going through what I was going through, I probably would have never started.
And this episode was brought to you by the Heirs Agency, a full-service marketing firm noted in entertainment and culture. Hey, y'all. Welcome to another episode of Break Phree Podcast with your favorite host, Free. Today, I have the confidence dealer here with me, baby. She's going to teach y'all all about dealing that confidence. What's up, Bevy J?
Hey, girl.
How are you?
I'm good.
Looking good?
No, you looking good.
Oh, don't tell me that.
First of all, I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
So very proud of you. I got to give you your flowers, girl, because you did it.
Thank you. Do you
You
remember
did
us
it.
talking about it?
Yes.
What was that, like last year?
That was last year? It
Yeah.
was.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, it was last year.
Yeah, I remember meeting you and you was like, wait a minute.
Yes.
Who are you?
Y'all. Listen, let me tell y'all quick. Can I tell them the story?
Yeah,
real
you
quick?
can tell them.
So we was at another co-working space, and I just heard this powerful voice. I was like, who is that talking? And it's been history ever since. Like, girl, where God is about to take you, it's about to be big.
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 Is it going to be like huge?
Girl, it's going to be ginormous. It's going to be ginormous, sis.
I receive it. I'm just thankful that, that God even trusts me.
Yes.
To use my gift, to share my gift with others, to pour into others, and I used to always say that God did bless me with that ability where people are drawn to me. People are naturally drawn to me.
Yeah.
And I used it in the wrong way before. When I was in the streets or whatever,
okay.
getting money, it was easy for me to make connections. It was easy for me to close deals and do that. And I felt like I led so many people astray. So I always said, this going around, I'll never misuse or abuse, my gift again. So I just try to be mindful, and I'm just thankful, that God chose me and that He's allowed me to do the thing that I like, talk.
God did.
Right. So, babe, on the outside looking in,
Yeah.
it's easy to feel like people will feel like you have it all together.
Oh, my gosh.
Like this beautiful smile, your content is always amazing, but you really been going through some things.
Yes. I like to say, first of all, I say I have a PhD in pain, right? Mm-hmm. And I make pain look good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't wish this on anybody. It's just that I'm glad that God has given me the talents and the skills for me to beat my face, still put myself together through my storm. Because I don't want to look like what I'm going through. And if anything, it's a test to say, you going through what? But you look like you got everything together.
Yeah, because you do. You I would have never known when around the time we met that you just was homeless.
Yeah. Yep. Just was homeless. And it's just one of those things. It's like, I got to get myself out the mud. Do I want to look like what does homeless really look like? We typically see the man or the woman on the street begging. I was like, I refuse. I refuse. I'm like, I got some lip gloss, some eyeliner, I got a wig I can reconstruct. But I'm like, I refuse. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I don't ever want to be in that type of situation. But I technically was, living out my car and trying to figure out what I'm going to do about money and all of this other stuff. It was just so much that was just on me. I had no choice but to run to God.
Right.
Like, I was in and out with God. Like, me and him, we was like this. Well, we like this now.
I know
but
that's
I was just like in and out, like all 1 foot in, 1 foot out. But when I was homeless, I was like, I surrender, God. This ain't what it is.
And what led you to be homeless?
One of the things was me moving to Atlanta, because I was homeless twice. So it was like moving to Atlanta, and I had a job. I was doing everything that I was supposed to have been doing. I was staying in Airbnbs until I found me an apartment, but my mom got sick. And what happened to my mom this time that actually took her life happened in 2019. So it's like I had the decision of, do I keep using this money for Airbnb? Because the doctor was like, if we give her any more medicine, her lungs gonna collapse, her heart gonna fail, her kidneys gonna fail, something. So I just wanted to be on standby, and I was just like, what do I do? Do I selfishly, in my mind, I'm like, do I selfishly go and sleep somewhere, or do I go be by her side? And that's what was the decision that I made. I said, I go be by her side.
Yeah, so you went back to Indiana.
Yeah, well, she was staying in Shreveport, Louisiana at the time.
Okay.
So yeah, I told my job. I just started my job, and they understood what was going on. I was just frantic. You know, I was like, man, I'm about to lose my mama.
Right.
You know, but God, he spared her, 3 more years before he took her?
Wow.
So, yeah.
And then when I know that was hard. Talk about like that transition of you losing your mom and how that was for you.
I'm still going through it.
Yeah.
I'm still going through it. One of the things that I would say is that I forgave my mom, because we didn't I talked as if we had the perfect relationship, but me and my mama, we was not that girl. We was not that mother-daughter duo. You know what I'm saying? My mother tried to sell me for drugs multiple times. You know, growing up, moving from crack house to crack house, you know, not having food, not having stability, not having any of that. So I grew up hating my mother. I grew up resenting her. And it wasn't until I was 30 years old when she had another stroke. Like, my mom has just been sickly because she was out there in the streets, you know? And it wasn't until I went to this church. Well, before that happened, let me back that back. It was when she got sick, and God told me to go get her and bring her to Shreveport, Louisiana, because the first marriage.
The first one, y'all.
The first one. So I was married the first time, but I was divorced, and my friend was like, come to Shreveport. You need a new life, start over. And I was like, okay. Shreveport just was not for me. You know, it did what it was supposed to do.
You will pick up and go.
Honey, that's why I ain't got no kids. I would get up and go. But when she had that stroke, I had just left Indiana. My aunt was like, hey, look, I think you need to move back home. Your mom, I don't think she's going to make it. She's in the ICU, and every 20 minutes she's having a stroke. Like, they just kept coming.
Back to back.
And I was just like, Lord. So eventually he restored her, and they was about to put her in a nursing home. I still love my mom.
Of course.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want her to be in no nursing home. Like, man, God.
Even after all
of
the
that,
resentment and everything.
all of that.
Yeah.
Go take care of her. Go get her and bring her to Shreveport.
Right.
Like, God, you funny. You want me to go take care of a woman that ain't never took care of me? Like, I love her. I just don't like her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you was never there for me, and you want me to take care. So I was obedient. I went and took care of her. Maybe a couple months after her living with me, I went to church, and I learned the art of forgiveness. This pastor said, you wondering why your life is going the way that it's going, because you probably, 30, 40, 50, probably even 90 years old, asking God for the same thing, and he still has yet to give it to you because you have yet to forgive.
That's deep.
When I was like, God, that's why? So I went home. I prayed, and I asked my mom for forgiveness, and I meant it. Because I said, wholeheartedly, because I was like, God, I want to be blessed. You know, I don't want to be one of those ones that's 90 years old, and I'm still asking for the same thing. I don't want to be her.
Because we forget the other part of the verse. Like, God will give us desires when you pray, but he also say, when you pray, if you haven't forgive someone, you forgive them.
Yes,
yeah,
you have to.
Yeah, you have
you
to
have
forgive.
to. You have to. So when my mother passed away, I didn't lose my mind. My brother and my sister, they took it hard.
Yeah.
I feel like they didn't make amends with her where I did. I had the best 7 years that I've ever had with my mother.
Wow.
You know, I was there with her when she was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer, and she had to have surgery to have one of her breasts removed. I was just there. I was baby girl. You know what I'm saying? I was there. I would come see her every weekend. It wasn't until I moved to Georgia because I moved to Dallas. Y'all move around. I'm like, I'm a nomad. I'm a nomad at heart.
I just said you don't mind pick up and kill it and kill it.
But real talk, on that nomad journey, God literally has me on a journey, because every time I went somewhere, I met somebody important. But going back to my brother and my sister, like, I forgave her. You know what I'm saying? And they just They didn't make amends. They didn't make amends, and I see it. And I see it affecting them.
Yeah.
You know, where I'm just like, I'm happy, I'm sad, but I'm happy she's not suffering anymore.
Yeah.
I have all of these amazing memories, and it's just me and her. They're not in the picture because they never took the time to go see her or try to go see her or anything.
Did you try to talk to them to get them to come see her?
Absolutely. You would think that I'm the only child. I love my brother and my sister. Nobody will ever think I have siblings. But that's just what it is. It's like I come from one of them families, and that's why I feel like I'm always under attack because I'm assigned to get them. You know what I'm saying? I've been told, like, you're going to be the one to get them together, you know, and I can see why.
Yeah.
You know, I can really see why. And it's just like, Lord, I didn't ask for this, but I accept it.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
Ooh, girl. So, yes.
Wow, and then so you ended up, like, after you did that, you lost your job and stuff, and you was homeless here.
Yes. Oh, my gosh, yes. So, fast forwarding into me actually leaving Georgia last year, I left because of my mom with the passing, and I wanted to go be with my family. And so I got comfortable. I was doing real good in Indiana. I'm not even gonna lie. I moved to Indianapolis, and I was just like, oh, okay, this 9 to 5 paying real good. You know, I was getting comfortable. God said, take your butt back to Georgia. I was just like, for real? Like, I'm settling in Indianapolis. I'm okay with that. I'm around my family. No, go back to Georgia. And when I came back to Georgia, I became a full-time entrepreneur. So I didn't go back and find another job. I had enough clients to make money. You know, I was like, okay, I like this entrepreneurship. But then, bam, I was homeless again. And I'm just like, Lord Jesus, like, what is going on? Like, why am I constantly under attack? Like, what is it that I'm doing? And so I went through this whole downward of just like, I'm not good enough. It's failure. Started getting depressed again, you know, and it's like I had to shake myself up out of that. But in the midst of it all, I've been closer to God like none other.
Yeah,
like I was close. Dream Center of Atlanta. Shout out to Bishop and my first lady, Pastor D. Like, you know, shameless plug.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I see you on your social media, like you really love your pastor and his wife.
I love it. I love them. I love my church.
Yeah.
It just feels so good because it's like, I know the Holy Spirit be talking to Bishop through me, for me, because I'll be like, I just prayed to you about that, Holy Spirit. Like, and then here he come, you know, and speaking it. So it was just one of those things, like me being rooted and grounded in church, because that's the only thing that's going to save my mind, being in that type of atmosphere, knowing that anything can happen to anybody. You know, I'm not special. Nobody's special. Life is going to happen. We're not exempt from life happening. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like one of those things of, you know what, I'm going to get through this. I know God got something real big, and like my bishop always says, God is going to give you double for your trouble and triple for your trauma. And I believe that, and I receive that, and I know I'm on this journey. Yeah. And as I get closer to God, my attacks are going to get bigger. But it's how do I manage it? Am I going to sit up there and let it go for 3 months to a year, or am I going to be silent and listen and be obedient? Because while I'm thinking I'm making sacrifices, God is really just wanting me to be obedient. Right. But I'm thinking I'm making a sacrifice, which is going to please him, but a sacrifice is going to take longer when I just need to be obedient.
Yep, obedience is better than sacrifice.
Yeah, so I'm just like, okay, that was a hard thing I had to learn. Yeah. Because while I'm like, oh, I'm going to fast, I'm going to pray, I'm going to fast from it, that's a sacrifice. But if I just really buckle down and be obedient and do what he tells me to do,
get the direction,
I'm going to be okay.
Yeah, because I always say when we don't get the lesson, you continue to repeat it.
Oh my gosh, cycles.
In different form. You know, different form. But until you get it, and then once you get it, then guess what? It's time for it. The lessons never stop coming throughout life. You get what I'm saying? It is just, levels of it. So talk about the boy, because you've been married how many times?
Uno, dos, tres.
That's 3 for y'all that don't know Spanish. We over here black Hispanic.
I got 3 rings, and I'm thankful for all of it. I'm thankful for all that pain, sis.
You was able to be blessed, like look back and see, and not be bitter.
Not be bitter.
What was the lowest, like which marriage you feel like you was at your lowest?
It was between the second and third one. Actually, all of them, but No, the third one. I ain't gonna lie. But each marriage, so the first marriage, I'm gonna tell you what I learned out of that.
Okay.
I was almost 500 pounds in that marriage. And
Really?
Girl, yes. I'm gonna show you pictures. Yes. And I settled. And it's so funny because a lot of people like, you settled at 5? I sure did, baby. It's my confidence. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I settled. You know, I settled in that marriage. I didn't know how to love nobody. All of that trauma that I just told you I went through, that was just a piece of it. But I took that into my first marriage. So I didn't know how to love myself. I was still battling trauma from my childhood. How am I going to love a husband or anything? So honestly, I can be honest and say that was both of us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was a combination of both of us. Like, he had his issues, I had my issues. And I learned self-love. I went on this journey. I was single for 4.5 years, lost the weight.
Were you celibate for the 4.5 years? No.
2 of the years.
2
2 of the years. 2 years I was. 2 of the years I was.
Okay.
But I
All right.
found me.
Yeah.
That second marriage, Bevy J was birthed out of that pain in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm just like, I realized who I was and why am I here.
What was so painful about it?
Betrayal. He was, please don't y'all DM me or get in my inbox. He was African. Yo, I was on this other dating show, and when I said I was married to an African, like, it was just nothing but Africans. And I was just like, you know what?
No,
I ain't no shade, but
Yeah.
if you need your green card up, don't hit me up. Be already established. I have nothing against foreign men. I actually like foreign men and prefer foreign men, but have your stuff together already.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, so he basically was just looking for
He
a way
lied
in.
to me, girl. When I tell you this man was Prince Charming, he treated me so, it was like,
Whatever you like, my darling.
for real. The movies, this man gave me that movie fairy tale treatment. Hell yeah, I'm about to marry you.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. You're older, you're established. But when I found out that the I loves you was a lie, you know what I'm saying? The sex, the intimacy it was all a lie.
How did you find out it was a lie?
Girl, so one of my clients, because I was a retail manager, she was so excited. She was African too. She's like, you're my wife, you're my sister. Have you been to Nigeria yet? Like, she was so excited for me. And I was like, no, I haven't been. She's like, well, when you going? She's like, you're married already, right? I was like, yeah. She's like, so why haven't you been? She was just like, she was puzzled.
Yeah.
Because of the tribe that he was from. She was like, that tribe normally ushers in the bride in Nigeria and have this huge wedding. And, you know, so she was just kind of, I was like, I'm not tripping. So she was like, something's not right. So she's like, come talk to my husband. She literally grabbed me and pulled me outside. And he was asking me all of these questions. And as he was asking me questions, he was like, have you met the mom? Any siblings or anything? And I was like, no. He was like, oh. Like, he was shocked. He was like, my sister, run. I was like, what? He said, do 2 things. He said, go home, ask him about his mom and when you're going to meet them. And then ask him about when are you going to Africa. And I was like, okay. And he said, if he gives you any type of like lip or he's mad and he's frustrated, run. And I was just like, ain't no way. I get home. I was like, so babe, when am I going to meet your mom? I just got into you. I was like, I want to meet your mom, your family.
Yeah.
Since when? You didn't, like, he was so mad. And I was like, so when we going to Nigeria? What has gotten into you? Why are you asking me all? He was so mad. And I was just like, okay. I started digging more because he had this suitcase that he kept locked. And I went through the suitcase. He always asked me not to go through it. Okay, I'm going to give you your privacy. You're my husband. I'm going to give you your privacy. I went through it. The child that he said that he had a passport. It was another kid that had a passport. His wife had a passport. I'm seeing all of this documentation, like all of this stuff. So you trying to bring your family over here. But you told me you only had one child. It was a whole family getting ready to come over here off of me. I was like, no. I was so scared. I was so scared because I was just like, what did I do? And I accepted the Dummy of the Year award, you know, but my biggest thing was always trying to see me and other people.
Right.
You know, it's like if I'm going in with a pure heart, if I'm genuinely loving you and thinking that, okay, we're about to have this, why can't you be the same way? You know what I'm saying?
People will never be the way that you are.
Right,
In
right.
any situation.
Right.
You just have to, that's something that we all have to accept, that no one is, if you're such a loyal person, people just aren't built the same.
They not.
Unfortunately.
They not.
Yeah,
So
unfortunately.
the blessing out of that was Bevy J was birthed out of that pain. I was so distraught.
Did he get his green card off you?
Girl, no.
Did you? What
No,
happened?
I wanted to annul the relationship, but the clerk was telling me it's better to just get a divorce because I have to submit all of the paperwork. It was just gonna take too long, and I said I want to be done. I want him out the house. Like I want my name to go back. I just want to be done. And
How
she
did you
said,
break it to him like it's over? I want a divorce.
It's over. It's over. Like this
What did
is
you
not.
say that for?
He tried the crocodile tears. He tried. I'm not gonna lie. He tried, but I was scared more than like I've been sleeping with the enemy.
Right.
You're not like, who does that? Because anybody will say, well, girl, you was stupid. Yeah, I'm happy I was stupid because I found my identity by being so gullible and thinking that, okay, everybody is just as sweet, as nice as me. Nah.
No.
Yeah. So I'm happy that nothing bad happened, but I'm also happy for that pain.
Yeah.
Because next year it'll be 7 years since I found my identity, and it's like I've been going through hell these last 7 years. You know what they say at the end of 7 years.
New beginning. Yeah.
I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
So
New beginning. And then so after the second marriage was the third marriage.
Ooh, child.
And this was the one, y'all, that she said hit the nail.
Man, that's when I cut my hair off. I had a mental breakdown. One of the things that I talked about was, Derek Jackson's wife. He was like this influencer who basically was always giving women advice and all of this other stuff, and he cheated on his wife.
You got to remember, Bevy, I was in prison. You keep forgetting. I just came home at 21. You
might have still.
That's a lot of things I missed.
Okay, we talking about free math. My bad. My bad.
Yeah,
but anyway, she made a statement of, since her husband was cheating with these different women, how she wanted to be them. I took up for her because I went through the same thing. As my husband, he constantly cheated. He cheated like from day one, like when we were dating, when we got married, and kept on cheating. So I then was
What made you stay when you knew he was cheating?
It was my third marriage, and I was fighting for it. And that I couldn't believe that he was who he really was because he was always there for me. He was there for me when I was going through my second divorce. You know what I'm saying? When I didn't have money to go see my grandmother when she passed away, he gave me the money. He was just always that friend.
So you kind of felt obligated.
I did. I'm not gonna lie. I felt obligated. When I got to Georgia, he was already here. But when I was homeless, he was so mad that I didn't tell him I was homeless because he put me up in a hotel room. So I just couldn't believe like this person would do something like this for me, that do something like this to me that was there for me. I was like, this is not the same person. So on top of, I was getting closer to God. And I'm like, okay, because somebody's cheating, you just don't leave them. You work it out. You figure it out. We went through marital counseling, like all of that, saw therapists.
Did you feel like something was wrong with you because he was cheating?
I did. And guess what he did? He went and cheated on me with a bigger girl, like way bigger, like 3 times bigger than me, and said, I told you it was never your weight. So you know how I stayed after that, and it made me even lower? Like you out your mouth, you said, I went and cheated on a woman that was bigger than you to let you know that it was never you. And it just, like, my mind was messed up. Like, what am I doing wrong? So I lost the weight, went vegan. You know what I'm saying? Started wearing my natural hair, started doing any and everything that I figured that he wanted. And he was never going to be satisfied. I was just a piece of his pie.
It was him.
Right, it was him. And it was a hard reality. I just I can't take this no more. Like I couldn't, I was beating myself up. Like I was drowning, contemplating suicide, thinking it's me because again,
he wanted to kill yourself?
Girl, yes. I remember the last fight we got into we moved to Orlando. Temporarily, and I still feel like till this day that whole move was premeditated. But we moved to Orlando, and we got into the biggest fight ever. And I was leaving out the house, and I said, when I leave out this house, I hope I die. And I meant that. And instantly, God, you got to repent. You don't mean that. And I did. I went and found the church. I was in a parking lot just crying and bawling out to God, because I was like, ain't no way this is who I'm supposed to be with that's having me feeling suicidal. I done had a meltdown. Like, I'm like, who am I?
So you cut all your hair off?
I cut all my hair off.
You
I
just
went
got the
viral
scissors
off of that, you know, because I like to say I'm the transparency queen. I don't mind sharing my story.
Right.
Some people are like, girl, I would never. I'm a free somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
By telling them what I've been through, period.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? By telling them what I went through. You know what I'm saying? And it did. You know, a few of my videos went viral last year just for me letting everybody know it's okay to start over. It's okay to take your life back. Don't be in a situation that you know is not healthy. That's not good. It's like, do you choose the situation or do you choose yourself? And I'm going to choose myself.
Right. But it took you some time to get to that point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
It did.
Wow.
It did. It did.
And this episode was brought to you by the Heirs Agency, a full-service marketing firm noted in entertainment and culture. So you had all of that pain and just, ooh, baby, that is a lot.
Yes, girl, yes.
Your Prince Charming turned into a frog.
Girl, listen. It was a blessing in disguise,
Right.
though. You know, I feel like every pain that I went through, every situation, it birthed a new level out of me. You know,
Right.
It's just like, okay, it's time to go to the next level. And it's just like, I'm going to be honest. I'm like, God, why do I keep going through this?
Why me?
You know, why me?
Like the meaning that be like, please take me off your strongest soldier.
Yes,
I don't want to be on that.
God,
Let me be on the blessed and highly favored list.
Right. But it's like, oh, you want to go to the next level, you got to go through it. Because one of the things that I've learned is I'm so relatable. You know, because a lot of women, they don't want to tell their stories.
Not even women, men too.
Yeah, men too.
Yeah.
Like, I was even surprised when some men hit me up and was like, yo, I'm going through the same thing. And it kind of changed my mindset to a certain thing. But just, again, just like people, they're just like, I could never, it's social media. Like, if you know how to maneuver through social media, them comments won't faze you after a while.
What made you cut your hair though, Bev? Did you feel like you needed a new identity, or did you just feel like, because you had a lot of hair?
Yeah, new, everything new. I felt like I needed to start over. That me cutting my hair was it was symbolized me starting over. You know what I'm saying? That one, I'm not my hair. Two, a lot of people are like, girl, I could never. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, it's a mask. You know what I'm saying? We love, us girlies, we love our hair, whether it's a wig or whatever.
Yeah.
We love our hair.
Right.
And it's just like, I wanted to just start over. That was like me saying, enough is enough. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do it the right way. I'm going to get to the bottom of all of this. And it's just like, I'm going to hold my head up high.
How do you take the crumbs and make them whole again? Because basically that's what it do, is like things fall down in our life. You know what I mean? Like I talk about, there's an acronym in my book, and I call it CRUMS: choose, refuse, use, move, and believe, right? Because crumbs, like for crumbs to come from something that was whole at one time. You get what I'm saying? A piece of something. And many times, like even like cake, if we eating something, and if it's really good, you eat it down to the crumbs. You get what I'm saying? But it came from something that was whole at one point. So how have you managed to always take your crumbs from marriage 1, marriage 2, marriage 3, from losing your mom, from going through, I don't even like my mom, but I love my mom, to, ooh, I love my mom and I'm thankful for this time we had together.
Yeah.
Those are all the crumbs. How do you take them and put them back together?
Ooh, sis, that's good. It's been so many crumbs that I was able to make bread out of it. I was able to make something out of it. That's for real, because each situation is a piece of who I am. It's a piece of my identity. So when I'm naturally drawn to, people are naturally drawn to me too, is because I can speak on going through a failed marriage. I can speak on going through losing yourself and your confidence, and I can speak on grief. I can speak on so many, being broke and not having nothing. I can speak on stepping out on faith and jumping and I can do all of those things.
And you definitely can speak on picking up moving from this state to that state.
Just do it. Just do it. Pray over it. But I also feel like a lot of times when we do take leaps real quick, is that we do need to wait on God.
Yeah.
But sometimes he's waiting on you to just take the leap. And he's going to bless you in the leap. You know what I'm saying? Because you're doing it for a betterment of yourself. You know what I'm saying?
That made me think about the four. You know the story in the Bible about the 4 lepers? Okay, so back then lepers, they couldn't be around everybody else. So it was a famine, right?
Yeah.
So they outside the city in the famine, right? They can't go over there because they lepers. They can't go back into city, and they can't go over here because that is the camp. They would die, in the army. But it said in the middle of the night, like the twilight, they got up and moved. You know what I mean? So sometimes, like you saying, that leap, that move, and when they move, God made it sound to the enemies like it was a bunch of armies coming to fight, and they fled. And guess what? Them lepers saved their whole country. Because they went over there, found all this spoil, all this food, and went and told the watchmen. You get what I'm saying? So you just made me think of that when you said about taking that leap. Like God be waiting for us to move, and if we move, he'll move. The old people used to say, you take one step, gotta take 2.
and that's true, girl. You just made me think of something else. And that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's like we got to take that leap. That's why it's called the leap of faith. You know what I'm saying? We won't know until it happens. And if it's not meant for us, you know. You know what I'm saying? You found your lesson and a blessing possibly in something that wasn't meant to be. It's not the end of the world. Or you either going to not take that leap and you going to be thinking shoulda, coulda, woulda, or you going to take that leap and be like, well, I know. And let me go back to where I was at. But it's always a lesson, a blessing in anything that we do, good or bad.
I feel like the worst regret is not having tried at all.
Exactly.
Because you don't know what could have been.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying? I'd rather try and fail. You get what I'm saying? I'm the girl that I'm going to try something. I don't care who ain't doing it, what they say can't happen.
Come on.
I'm going to try to put it together. And guess what? Okay, if I look stupid, if I fall, all right, okay, at least I tried. You get what I'm saying? But we definitely have to leap, and we have to continue to leap and not become comfortable. You know how you said in that one marriage, like, I mean, when you had moved in there, money was good and everything, you were comfortable.
Yeah, I was comfortable.
But God said it was time to leap again.
It was time to go again. I was just like, man.
And
like,
now
look
look at you. You know,
right.
You're able to, through all of your storms, you know, Bevy J being birthed in the confidence queen. You're able to be confident in whatever room you walk in. You can walk in as me. Yeah, and I love to talk about your weight loss journey. How you bring other women along, and how you encourage other women along.
Yeah. So one of the biggest things that I've learned just being a big girl is that I love me in this process, but the end goal is to be healthy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of people, like, they tear up the name being BBWs and plus size, and, like, especially BBWs. Like, don't call me no BBW. Please don't call me that. You know what I'm saying? I'm her. I'm not a BBW. I'm her.
Make no mistake about it, sir.
But I got to be realistic. You know what I'm saying? There are moments of things that I don't like about myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I look real good, damn good, but at the end of the day, like, what does the doctor say? What is my test results saying? Right. So just that same confidence that I have on the outside, I want it to show up in my test results.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like longevity is the goal. I can't be sitting around here saying I'm going to be a millionaire, which I am, and I'm going to be a healthy millionaire.
I know that's right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like.
And then don't live to enjoy it.
Don't live to enjoy it.
Or gotta use all your money on doctor bills and everything.
No, like, health is important. It might be a slow coming, but let it be coming. You know what I'm saying? Don't let it be where it's just like, well, I'm happy. He gonna let me do. No, I don't want that. I'm not in that category no more.
You said what?
I'm not in. I'm her. But no, I'm not in that category no more. I used to be her, where I was okay with my weight and my size, and if a man, that's how I got married so quick. They loved that. They wasn't the type to be like, nah, baby, let's go work out, let's do this. Like, they was, I love you. I don't want no man like that. Don't love me the way that I am. No, baby, let's get up, let's go to the gym, let's do this. You, like, be on me. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to be that. You know, I do desire to have children. I don't want to be birthing out babies in this plus size body. Like, I don't. Yeah. You know,
and you know, sometimes too, it's harder to conceive. Like, one of my friends, Katie, hey Katie, she couldn't conceive,
Yeah.
right? And they had told her that she wouldn't, but the doctor and she had tried like she had tried all of that. Well, she ended up coming to prison, and the doctor had told her too, sometimes the infertility could be tied to like the weight and everything.
Yeah.
So she ended up, have a bad decision, ended up in prison. She ended up with me, the workout queen, because back then, baby, I was diligent in working out. I fell off the wagon, y'all.
That's okay. You still looking good.
Thank you. But I want this roll going on my back. Doctor go lay on the table. No, but, she lost 50 pounds in like 7 months. You get what I'm saying?
Wow.
And guess what? She went home and she had Grace.
Wow.
A little girl. She went home and had a baby, so sometimes it is tied to that. So I understand you saying like you don't want to birth. Yeah. And then you just want to be
healthy.
What makes you healthy, what makes you happy. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. But I love how you bring other women along too, and then you'll be like, it's gym time. Ooh, I don't feel like it. Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
Like, I my biggest thing is like, again, I do desire to be married again, but I know I want a different type of man.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, let's be real, he don't want this right here. I'm gonna be honest. He want what he want, and I want what I want.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm okay with that. A lot of people feel like, why would you want? No, I'm doing it for me first. But I want to make sure I look good, and I want him to make sure that he feels the same way about me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm okay with that. A lot of people, like, I got a lot of backlash about that. When Kevin, I said it a few months ago. I spoke about Kevin Samuels talking about. I didn't agree with everything that man said, but one thing he did mention was like your image is everything. And I took it further than just your image is everything, because when you look good, you feel good.
Right.
But let's take it to the health point. You know what I'm saying? When you healthy, like you unstoppable, knowing that if I look good on the outside and my reports are matching, I'm unstoppable. That's true. Imagery is important.
Yeah, it is. People can say that it's not,
It
but we all
is.
know whether you want to admit it or not. It goes with whatever category, whatever room, whatever building, whatever you're trying to do. So tell me, like, where did your faith come from? Because you do have huge faith.
I do. It definitely started growing up. One thing my mom did do, I can remember going to church as a little girl. And it just came to a lot of me just discovering, just reaching out, sorting out, seeking God, and it's like, it's one of those things of, I remember my childhood pastor, his name was Pastor Locke in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He was like, obey God and he'll bless you real good.
Ooh. Obey God and he'll do what?
Bless you real good.
Real good.
Ooh, okay, God, that was for me again. Like, just in this moment, because I tell you, life be lifing.
Tell them about the story when you obeyed God the day before your birthday.
Okay, so it was actually Mother's Day week, that Sunday, and I had been sleeping in my car for about 2 weeks at this time. I officially just got divorced. Was sleeping in my car. Like, I was separated from him for 2 years, but the divorce was finally finalized. And so God told me to be obedient. He said, tell and share your storm. I'm like, I always talk about my storms, but he's like, I want them to see you going through it. Tell your story. I was like, all right, God. I was hesitant though, because that was embarrassing for me. I like to talk about when I come out of it.
Yeah.
He's like, talk about it while you in it. So I just made a video of me just being transparent. I was emotional. I was missing my mom. I'm like, my car was like acting crazy. It was
just
smoking. It was smoking out of nowhere. The lights was just going crazy, flickering. I'm like, my birthday is on the weekend. Like, I ain't got no money like that to get anything fixed. And I shared my storm. And shout out to Candace Holyfield, Six-Figure Spot Chick. Candace Holyfield Parker.
Oh, okay,
Miss Parker. Again, I've met Candace a couple times. She DM'd me and was like, what's your Cash App? I didn't ask nobody for nothing.
No,
I was just saying, God is about to bring me out of this right now. I said, I don't know what it's about to look like, but he is. And he did. By that time, her and her child blessed me with almost $1,000. I had a place to stay. By the day before my birthday, I wasn't sleeping in my car no more. So everything literally happened just like that. And I was just
because of your obedience.
Obedience. Ooh, child.
Obey God and he'll do what?
Bless you real good. Amen. Woo! Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I'm
so-
just thinking, girl.
Yeah, I
That
remember
just
that day, and I was just like, wow, that's what's up. And I love to see communities of women pulling together for another woman, you know, because a lot of times in the media, it just portrays us tearing each other down.
Yeah.
So anytime a woman bigs up another woman or does something for another woman, like, it just touches me. You know, it just touches. So again, shout out to Candace.
Yes, hey, girl.
So tell me something you're believing God for now. Like something big that you're believing God for.
A house.
A house?
A house, definitely a house.
Paid for?
Listen.
Mortgage,
See?
rent, what you believing
Come
for?
on, see now. Hold on. You got a piece of paper so I can write it down.
Bring me a sticky note. Bring me one of those sticky notes.
Let me write it down. Let me write a live timestamp because by the time this air, I'm trusting and believing God that it's gonna come.
Okay, write it down. Write it down. Make it, you know, Habakkuk 2. Write the vision,
write
make
it
it
down,
plain,
make
so
it
he
plain.
may run with it.
I'm gonna be honest, sis. That was one of those things that I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it here. You know what I'm saying? But definitely a house. At first, I was saying an apartment. God was like, "That's not big enough." You know what I'm saying? You don't trust me for a house.
Yeah.
You worried about how you go and like you worrying about too much of the stuff. You know you want a house. You want a house.
Yeah.
I want a house.
Girl, let me tell you something. I've been wanting a new car, right? But I've been saying, like, I wanted to be able to keep my old car, too, you know, because I want to have it as a secondary car.
Yeah.
Everybody that knows me know I want a G-Wagon.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I had been saying, I'm going to wait like it's not time. And then I was like, oh, my birthday. I'm going to do it for my birthday. That's going to be my birthday gift. But I'm like, no, you know, we're getting the podcast off the ground. And people, let me tell y'all something. Podcasts are not cheap, okay? These cameras, these mics, that production, it costs. But so I just kept, like, been putting it off the back burner. This morning I got up, Bevy J, got ready to come to the studio.
Yeah.
I didn't have a car.
Wow.
Truck gone. Only thing left there was the glass from the window. You get what I'm saying? But I didn't allow it to distract me. I still
And you here.
I'm here. Girl, I said I need a ride to the building, and I report it when I get back because I just felt like, I have to get here. I'm obligated. These people are coming. This is what I need to do. And I just said, you know what? Okay, God, however, whatever. So I said, okay, maybe it's time for G.
Okay. Period. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but we do have to, you know, we have to believe and we have to think big, and not only think big, I feel like we have to go after the things that we want, like, and believe that we're worthy of what we're asking for. You know, because sometimes you can ask for something and you don't get it because you don't believe that you deserve it. Yeah.
Right. And one of the things that I also learned, because I mentioned earlier, life has been lifing, is that I had to come to the realization I had to eat my own words. And I preach a lot, try again. So I had to take my own advice and try again.
Eat what you preach.
Girl, I was just like, and being obedient, because in that trying again is my obedience, because, oh, my business didn't go the way that I wanted to go, so I put it on the side and been searching for a 9-to-5. I told you to move to Georgia to be a full-time entrepreneur, and because somebody didn't do something what they wasn't supposed to do, you want to just lay everything to the side and go back to a 9-to-5. That's not you being obedient. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, I got to try again.
Because you know when things don't work out, we'll fall back into us.
Yeah.
We'll fall back into us, and we'll go snatch it out of God's hand and try to do it ourselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Instead of leaving it there and like just trusting him. Like, okay, I can't see it. You see what's going on. Girl, let me tell you something. I used to tell God, like, I'm the type of person I truly believe in throwing back in God's face his word. You get what I'm saying? You know how people throw stuff up in your face? So when I was in prison, Bevy, I used to tell them, like, when it was like on my rough days, I used to be like, now, wait a minute, dude. You said you'll loose the prisoners. Hello? I'm a prisoner. Why am I still here?
Right.
You get what I'm saying? But that's what I had to do. I had to continue to stand on that verse, to stand on something, and to throw it up in God's face like, no, all right, enough is enough, dude. The jig is up.
Yeah.
Release me.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But we have to stand on what we believe and just believe that we're worthy of it, and then just, hang it out on the days that I had to cry, on the nights that I felt like, okay, what's going on?
Yeah.
On days when I felt like I was going to lose my mind, on days when I was going off, but I still had to be like, oh, no, I'm going home. I ain't going to be here forever.
Yeah.
So like your try again and your keep going. Even on your hard days,
Yeah.
baby, just keep going. Just
Yeah.
keep pushing. Just, and that blessing when it come, it be suddenly.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about it too, when something big happens for you, it erases whatever you've been through.
Everything.
It's like when I came home, baby, when I was finally home, like I used to be up every morning in prison at 6 o'clock on the track, jogging 3 miles. I do my 3 miles in the morning when I get up. Girl, I got home. I was getting up 11, 12 o'clock. It was like I had never been there. And sometimes somebody says, I be like, girl, please, because it's like it never, ever happened. You get what I'm saying? So what I'm telling you is it's going to be suddenly.
Yeah.
Suddenly.
I received that.
Yeah, you're going to be like, oh, remember when you was there that day?
I'm about to write this down before I leave out this building.
Yeah.
I'm writing it down. This is going to be my timestamp.
Tell me what's next for Bevy J.
Really, so for 2024, I've already started planning for 2024. And next year it's pretty much me holding myself accountable. I'll be 40 in 2025.
Okay.
And it's like the journey to 40, and it's like if I don't make something happen now, I feel like I just will never. I'm putting that type of pressure on me because there's no way with what I know about God and what I know and what I've learned, there's no way that I'm not going to be on top. And one of the things I can be honest and say, I struggle with consistency. You know what I'm saying? I struggled with rejection. You know what I'm saying? Of people telling me no, no, no. It's like, no, now is the time for me to go and build my own table.
Yeah.
And
we don't need your table. That's what my manager always says. We don't need your table. We building our own. Shout out to ET.
For real. So it's like that's what I'm doing. I've started an accountability group, gearing up, rounding up women. Like, do you want to take this leap? It's leap year next year.
Ooh,
So
I didn't even realize it was leap year next year.
Yeah, it's leap year.
We leaping into big
So
things.
it's like let's take this leap together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like let's hold each other accountable. I was gonna do it by myself, but I said, you know what? Let me invite other women. Let me invite my tribe, and that's been following me on this journey. It's like let's do it together. You know what I'm saying? Regardless even if it's just one person, I'm going to do it regardless, whether it's with them or just me, because it's like I owe this to myself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I would let the littlest things get me down and just stop me. That's why I said now is the time to try again, and take that leap.
Okay.
Because it's a blessing in that leap, y'all.
Yes. Blessing in the leap. Now, before we go, this is the signature of Break Phree Podcast.
Okay.
So you have to tell me something that you feel like you need to break free from.
Ooh. What do I need to break free from? I'm be honest, fear.
Ooh.
I'm be honest. I'm going to be honest, fear.
Fear?
Yeah. Fear. And it's not the fear that you think. It's the fear that's covered up, which is perfection. I want to wait until it's perfect, but the underline of perfection is fear.
Okay, teach us then.
So,
teach us.
I'm going to be honest. A lot of the stuff, it was like, well, I want to wait until it's really fear.
Yeah.
Girl, the way you package that up, can't nobody tell that this is,
yeah.
It's fear.
Yeah.
It's fear. And that was a hard reality that I had to break free from.
Breaking free from it. Thank you so much for coming. I really enjoyed you. You definitely going to have to come back when the community or whatever the next thing you have coming on.
I'm going to give y'all an update on what I'm about to write here today.
Guess what? And I'm definitely going to keep it, and I'm going to let y'all know all over social media, everything. When God does it for her, I'm definitely going to let y'all know that it happened. Y'all, I love y'all. Thank y'all. It has been another great day. And remember, it's always delusion until they see it happen. I'll see y'all next time. And this episode was brought to you by the Heirs Agency, a full-service marketing firm noted in entertainment and culture.